Hey everyone, this is Nitro. Since several people have asked about the enchants that are on my main party, I thought I would cover it briefly in this video. So, let's begin with Lana. Lana is currently in a transition phase, so she actually has 2 magic enchants and 2 clocks enchants. It's kind of weird, but that's how it worked out. Because I'm still waiting to get her armor, which I'll also put a magic enchant on, and then at that point I'll change over the Holy Ring to magic as well. So right now she's just in the transition phase. So the Blue Moon currently has plus 12% int, plus 10 int, and plus 48 hit points. Depth's Robe has 4 int, 4% int, and 6% magic defense. Warlock's Hood has 2% int, 5% hit points. I'm really waiting to replace this, to be perfectly honest, but that's why it has a pretty shitty enchant right now. And then finally, Holy Ring has 5% HP, 7% int, and 6 magic defense. So none of them are really, I guess, absolute final enchants except for the Blue Moon. The rest are kind of, they're just average enchants that I'm using as transitional equipment. So that's my Lana, and her power is 5,650. Leon is at 5534, and his enchant is a Seal Guardian. He has Full Moon, okay? And the reason I switched to Full Moon was because I got a really nice enchant on the Seal Guardian, which was plus 11% in, plus 11% attack and plus 18 attack, and with plus 3% defense. So it's a really good enchant. You can get better with, let's say, plus 15% int, and then I don't know, plus 33 attack, but the chances of that happening is very unlikely. So this is near final enchant. Aeneas' armor is plus 14% hit points, plus 1% attack. Solid. You need the hit points percentage, so that's why I stuck with this enchant. Horror Helm has plus 10% defense, plus 2% attack, and plus 7 defense. So this really boosts his defense so that Epic Knight gets some additional benefits. Could it be replaced with plus % hit points? Absolutely. But this is fine for me right now, especially since this Horror Helm is going to get replaced. The Vampire Mask currently has plus 9% hit points, plus 7% defense, plus 105 HP. So this is really better than the Horror Helm enchant. I just haven't replaced it because I haven't leveled up my Horror Helm yet. And finally, Winged Shin Guards, plus 7% attack, plus 62 hit points, plus 7 defense. Again, none of them are absolutely final ones, but they're more than enough for what I need Leon to do. If you're focusing on PvP, obviously, all your items you want plus % hit points to make your characters able to survive AoE attacks and so on. But since I don't really PvP, you know, these enchants are more than enough. Bozal. Miracle Staff gives garbage. It really should give plus % hit points and plus magic defense, ideally. So it would be something like plus 10% HP plus 5% magic defense. But, you know, I can re-roll this later. There's no rush for it. Because Bozal is actually, I think he's my toughest character at 5708 total power right now. It's higher than Lana, so yeah. Well, let me just, if I change Lana to Heaven's Sanction, let's see, does her power go up? It does. So it's 5702 versus Bozal's 5708. So Bozal is actually my strongest character now. Interesting. I didn't even realize that has changed recently. But yeah, so that's the enchant on Miracle Staff. It can be replaced. Callously Cloak, this is pretty much a final enchant. 13% magic defense, 7% hit points, plus 13 defense. Yes, ideally this would be magic defense as well, and then maybe these would be slightly higher percentages, but it's pretty hard to get that. So Callously Cloak has a near final enchant. Dark Crown, 7% magic defense, plus 13 magic defense, plus 5% int. Can be replaced, but because, you know, you can get plus 15% magic defense here, right? So ideally this would be plus % magic defense, plus hit points, and plus magic defense. But no rush to replace it. Again, Bozal's my strongest character right now. And then Speed Boots has 5 magic defense, 7% magic defense, and plus 1% int. So more than enough for Bozel to tank hits and do a lot of damage. So that's why I haven't really re-rolled the enchant on Bozel yet. Bernhard, I mean, I'll go over his equipment, but he's not really a main character for me anymore. So he has plus % attack here, plus defense percentage, and plus defense. Nothing really great though. This could be re-rolled. And he uses Full Moon. Carbon Fiber Armor, plus 11% hit points, plus 181 hit points, plus 6% magic defense. It's a nice enchant, giving him additional hit points. Aeneas' Helmet, also a lot of hit points, plus 14% hit points here, plus 1% attack. And then Speed Boots, plus 9% attack, plus 3% magic defense, plus 1 magic defense. So, rock solid. Again, rock solid enchants. I'm not going to re-roll these because Bernhard's no longer a core character in my party. So, this is enough for him to use. Lana. Lana's Blue Moon has plus 10% int, 3 defense, 83 hit points. This could be re-rolled for sure. You want 15% int at minimum, or plus 10% int with another plus int item. But, you know, Liana's healing enough, her power is 4630, and yeah, we'll leave it as is for now. Greenleaf Coat, because it's going to get replaced, has a garbage enchant, 3 int, 3 defense. Sage's Hat has this, since Sage's Hat is her final equipment, it has a pretty good enchant. Plus 10% hit points, plus 4% int, and plus 7 int. This is pretty much a final enchant. And then finally, Crystal Ball, 7% int, 5% magic defense, 6% hit points. Could be better, but I'm not going to re-roll this because eventually I'm going to replace the Crystal Ball with a Holy Ring, right? Holy Ring grants immunity to silence, just like the Crystal Ball does. And it would give more int. So eventually this is going to get replaced, and this Crystal Ball will probably go over to Sophia, who has, yeah. Sophia has a decent equipment set too, as a quick note. Oliver's Staff level 50 with plus 11% int, right? Tenyo's Robe is going to get replaced, because this Tenyo's Robe is actually meant for Lana. But because it's level 20, it's sitting on Sophia. Sage's Hat, no, not a good enchant, yeah. But since Sophia doesn't really ever get attacked, I'm not going to re-roll this. Unless I use SR scrolls. I might reroll it with SR scrolls rather than SSR scrolls. So, you know, if I purchase a whole bunch of these SR scrolls, I might reroll this for plus int percentage. Since, again, Sophia is used for PvE clearing, and yeah, this is actually just fine. And then finally, Crystal Ball, 7% int, 6% magic defense. A good enchant. So that's Sophia. And then I guess I'll go over Ledin and Cherry, because those are my 2 other characters who currently have good equipment. So Ledin, his enchant is kind of weird right now. 5% defense, which is the max for a weapon, 7% attack, which he doesn't really benefit from, and 7 int. You really want something like defense, hit points, magic defense, ideally. Gaia's Armor, 10% defense, 11% hit points. This is near perfect. You know, that's 21% stats in useful stats. Ideally, it would be another, let's say, plus % magic defense, but the chances of getting that is highly, highly unlikely. So this is this is pretty much a final enchant. Aeneas' Helmet, not his final helmet, but he's been using it for a long time because it has plus 14% defense, plus 6 defense. Haven't seen a need to replace this. And then finally, the King's Amulet, 9% defense, 14% crit hit rate, and 6 magic defense. This is one that I do want to reroll as well. You want, you know, again, defense, magic defense, hit points. Crit rate is not that important for Ledin, so... But, you know, it's working for him right now. I haven't replaced it yet. Let me just change up his skills back to his normal set. There we go. So that's my Ledin. And Cherry has an equipment set that's still very transitional, right? She has an Assault Ring, which gives all attack, plus 40% attack, plus 14 attack, which is solid. She has the Jormungandr's Eye, 13% hit points, 5% magic defense. This is a pretty good enchant. Gargoyle's Jacket, 10% hit points as well, 4% attack. And then finally the Last Knight, which gives 9% attack, 4% hit points, and 47 hit points. So you can see I'm really rolling for more and more hit point enchants whenever possible. I do want to replace this Last Knight though with Ragnarok. And because I haven't gotten the Ragnarok, she's not really a top tier character for me. Thus, I haven't really rolled good enchants on her yet. And yeah, that pretty much covers my main party. I mean, I can talk about Elwyn and Luna as well, briefly, in terms of equipment. Let me just move his equipment back to him. Because Elwyn, I'm currently building a third set of gear for, so that I have another melee character for the Eternal Temples. So he currently has a Reaper's Breath level 50, just because I picked up 4 of them. It has 7% hit points, right, and 43 hit points. It should be enough to keep... All I really need is hit points to keep Elwyn alive, so that's why that's the current enchant. I may re-roll this for a higher hit point percentage. Anace's Armor, 6% hit points, 4 magic defense, 7 defense. Again, probably need to re-roll this for more hit point percentage. Because right now, Elwyn is probably my limiting factor in terms of clearing the Eternal Temples. But I'll have to wait until I have a level 50 Sealed Guardian and level 50 Anace's Armor on him before I can, you know, figure out whether I need to re-roll these enchants or not. Weapon, 10 attack, 9% attack, 11 int. Unfortunately, this was int, not hit points or whatever. But yeah, it's a decent enchant, giving him more attack. That's what it is right now. And then finally, I'm actually not using Assault Ring on him. I'm using the Overlords Badge, which currently only has 6% attack and 4% defense. So, but this again, not leveled up yet. So once I level up this gear to level 50, I will make an attempt on, let's say, the Valkyrie boss and Scylla, and see if he has enough hit points to survive, right? Because my Elwyn is mainly for clearing Eternal Temples, and so until I get his gear maxed out, I don't know if I need to re-roll the enchants or not. So that's my Elwyn. And last but not least, Luna. Luna, again, currently in a transitional phase. She's using a level 20 Barrier Lance just because I haven't picked up a good weapon for her yet, for the weapon slot. It would really be Uller's bow, and then at that point I would make her a bow knight and bow master. But right now, because she's as a Pegasus, you know, she's all about having as much magic defense as possible. So I mainly use her for Guild Wars, and this gear set has been decent, right? Level 20 Veil of Light with plus 10% magic defense and plus 3% hit points. Twilight's Helmet, 10% magic defense, 7% defense, and 166 hit points. Twilight's Armor, 9% magic defense, 57 hit points, and 7 int. And then the Barrier Lance just gives 3% magic defense. So none of the enchants are particularly great. You know, these can be 15%, right? 15% magic defense here, 15% magic defense here. This one is capped out though. 10% magic defense is the max, I believe, for accessory. So this one is solid. Although I could have used more hit point percentage and then a third stat. So we'll see. And then her enchants are actually split. She has 2 hard rocks and then 2 ices. The reason for that is by splitting it, you're getting plus 10% defense plus 10% magic defense. So yeah, this is my Luna. Once this is level 50 and this is level 50, she should have a lot of magic defense, which would mean she has a lot of attack. Right now, when I use her in Guild Wars, it's between 800 and 900 attack. So yeah, once these are upgraded, it would be way higher. Definitely over 1,000. But, you know, Luna works well as a finisher, hitting damage targets, as well as having Gale and the faction buff. So that's my Luna. Alright, so that's really my main set of gears in their current enchants. You can see none of them are exactly absolutely perfect enchants, but they're enchants that are good enough for me to clear all the PvE content. Because, let me just bring up the ranking quickly. For example, in total, I'm actually ranked 18th on my server at 27,517 power. But for individual strongest heroes, I don't really have a powerful hero, right? Some people have heroes that are at near 6,500 power, whereas my max one is at 5,708. So I'm all the way down in rank 39th. So individual characters, I don't have anyone who's very, very powerful. But overall power, it just adds up. Alright, so that's everything I really wanted to say about my party, because this was just a question that I got from a lot of people about the enchants that I have. Generally speaking, what you really want is to buff the stats of, well, armor and Helm, you definitely want plus % hit points, which would really help for PvP and keeping your characters alive. Weapon, you want ideally plus attack percentage and plus attack. And the accessory, you want your damage stat as well. So for Leon, it would be plus attack percentage, maybe plus attack and then plus hit points. That would be the ideal. For Bozol and Luna, you would want plus hit points, plus magic defense, stuff like that. But overall, I would settle right now for increasing damage. Getting those ideal enchants can be done later. Right now, you just want as much damage on your characters as possible so you can one-shot enemies. So that's everything I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful. On that note, Nitro out.